Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Appleby, and I am your instructor for English Composition 1 and English Composition Review for Summer 2. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about, obviously, I'm going to talk about Comp 1, the syllabus. I'm going to put up the student preview so it looks like how it's going to look for y'all. Okay. So everything is going to be set up into weekly folders. So everything we do for week 1 is going to be here. There's going to be more things. I just got this class a couple of days ago, so I'm sort of still working on getting everything set up and moved over. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get everything recorded and set up. But yeah, just give me some grace on that, I guess. So, let's talk about the syllabus first. That's kind of where everything you need to know is going to be. Okay, that's probably big enough. Okay, again, my name is Mrs. Amber Appleby. My office hours are by appointment only. We can meet via Zoom, Microsoft Teams. We can also meet in person at the main or south campus. The phone number I give you is my cell phone number. You can call me at that number. You can also text me in the case of an emergency. The quickest way to get a hold of me, though, is by email. When you message me on Blackboard, like when you use these messages right here, they don't get sent directly to my email. Like I get a notification from Blackboard, but it's not sent directly to my email. So when you send things directly to my email, I can reply to you much faster than if you do it as a message on Blackboard, but either way is fine. This is my chair and my dean, their contact information if you need that. This is an online course. There are no set times to meet, but make sure you are checking your UAPTC email and Blackboard shells daily. So I will keep you up to date via email, announcements on Blackboard. I will be in contact with you quite often, so just make sure that you're checking Blackboard and your email every day. This course teaches principles and techniques of expository and persuasive composition, analysis of text with an introduction to research methods, and critical thinking. Basically, we're going to teach you how to write. So this UAPTC composition mix textbook, you do need to get this textbook. We will be doing some reading from the textbook, not this first couple of days, but maybe towards the end of the week we will. But anyway, yes, you do need this UAPTC composition mix textbook. It does come through the Access program, which means you can get a digital copy at a reduced price. I think the digital copy is like $50. The thing about this textbook is that you need it for both Comp 1 and Comp 2. So it's easiest just to go ahead and get it now. If you can't get it this first week, that's okay, but you will need it definitely towards the end of the course, so just keep that in mind. And then here's information on how to access the Access program, or otherwise you can just go to the uaptcbookstore.com to purchase your textbook. I'm not going to read these to you verbatim. Basically, in this course, I'm going to teach you how to create a thesis, how to support that thesis in an essay. We're going to talk about grammar. We're going to talk about a little bit about literature. We're going to analyze a literary work. We are going to also write an argument and a research essay. We're going to write 4 essays in this class, but we'll get to that in a minute. But basically, yeah, we're just going to be writing. We're going to be talking about grammar. We're going to be reading, all of that fun, great stuff that English is known for. Since this isn't the attendance policy, since this is an online course, I don't take attendance in the traditional sense. Your attendance is based on your level of interaction in the course and your submitted work. So essentially, if you are submitting stuff in a timely manner, You're not having like 2-3 weeks late. Is not when you're submitting stuff. You're participating in anything that we may do in class, like peer review. You are responding to me when I ask questions or reach out for information. You're going to be considered attending as long as you're doing your work, turning it in, and interacting. Appropriate behavior is expected for all communications, including any notes, email messages, or telephone conversations. So just be nice to one another. Be nice to your colleagues in the class. Be nice to me. And of course, always just be kind to humans in general. Academic integrity, don't cheat. In English classes, we also have plagiarism, which is a form of cheating. The simple definition of plagiarism is taking credit for work you didn't do. So this could look like someone else or AI writing a paper for you and you turning it in as yours. It can also be like you taking credit for an idea or a thought that someone else had without properly giving them credit. Plagiarism is something that we'll really talk about and on the final essay with the research essay. Because with most of the rest of these essays, you shouldn't be looking at outside sources. The only essay you should be using outside sources for is the research essay. So you shouldn't have any accidental plagiarism where you're trying to cite a source and you just don't cite it correctly. So the first time that I suspect you of plagiarism, beyond the accidental plagiarism where you just didn't cite your source correctly, I will reach out to you and discuss next steps. Generally, I'm going to allow you to redo it the first time. I'm going to give you a pass the first time. And we're going to talk about maybe how to not do it in the future. However, the second time that you do deliberately plagiarize, I automatically give you a 0 on the assignment, and each incident will then be reported, and all UAPTC's policies of plagiarism consequences will be followed. Y'all don't want me to have to report you to the university for cheating. I don't want to have to report you to the university for cheating. So just do your own work. It is so much easier for you to just do your work than try to get somebody else or AI to do it for you and get caught and fail. So just do your own work. So now what everybody wants to know about grading. So this is the grading breakdown. 90 to 100 is A, so on and so forth. We all know that. My grades are weighted. So homework is worth 20%. Homework is going to be things like grammar quizzes, peer review, rough drafts are considered homework, journal entries are homework. All of that stuff is going to be worth 20% of your grade. You have 4 essays, like I mentioned earlier. You have a narrative essay, a review essay, an analysis essay, and a research essay. The final drafts of those essays are worth, the narrative essay final draft is worth 10%. Review essay final draft is worth 15%. Analysis essay is worth 20%, and the research essay is worth 25%. And then to finish up that last 10% of the total 100%, you have the portfolio/final exam. Yeah, that's how the grades break down. Like I said, they are weighted. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If you have questions about any of this, let me know. Okay, a couple more things. I love teaching and helping students. Don't be afraid to reach out to me via email or phone about any of your questions or concerns. Okay, apologies about that. My headset died, so sorry about the few seconds of silence. I love teaching and helping students. Don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or phone with any questions or concerns you have. My whole thing is I can't help you if I don't know what's going on. I'm happy to work with you on deadlines. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to walk you through stuff, but I can't do any of that if I don't know that you're struggling. So just reach out to me and talk to me. When you email any instructor, make sure to use appropriate language and formatting. Email should include a greeting, a formal body, and a closing. So let's You're going to type an email. Well, it's afternoon now. Good afternoon. Say what you have to say. And then I already have one put in, but include thank you and then your name. Okay. I will accept late work in some circumstances. I'm pretty flexible with late work. The only thing is with essays. With essays, final drafts of essays, I take 10% per day that it is late. So let's say it's due on a Wednesday and you don't turn it in to me until Thursday. So I'm going to take 10%. So that's a letter grade that I'm going to take. So the highest you would be able to make on that would be, well, one day late it would be a 90. So that's if everything else is perfect, and nothing is ever perfect, not 100%. So this is the tentative course schedule. This is very bare bones, and it's very tentative. So I will keep you informed about due dates and all of that via email. I also put due dates on the assignments themselves, as you can see here. So yeah, the due dates on the syllabus may not always be 1000% correct. So just make sure you are paying attention to announcements and the due dates on here. So that was our syllabus for Comp 1. So some things that we have to do and just some other things that I want to talk about. So the syllabus quiz, that's due by, so technically Friday is the 4th of July. So we don't have class on Friday. So technically everything is due Thursday. However, I'm not going to penalize you for turning it in late. I just wanted to make it due Thursday so that you didn't technically have anything due on the 4th of July. If you want to turn it in on Friday, that's fine with me. So what you're going to do is your syllabus quiz. This is worth 100 points, but it's really easy. It's 2 questions. I've read and understood the syllabus. We just went over it. You may want to skim it again. And then I want you to give me your UAPTC email and a good phone number to contact you at. This helps me because if I need to get in touch with you quickly, I can just call you. And often I may need to get in touch with you quickly in this short 5-week course. So you're going to do the syllabus quiz, and then there's this diagnostic essay. So let's take a look at what that is. Please type a paragraph, 5 to 7 sentences about who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. So I don't want you to have to pull up a Word document or any of that. Just type it in the submission box here and just tell me like who you are, maybe where you went to high school, maybe where you work. Do you have any pets? What are your future goals? That kind of thing. So just 5 to 7 sentences about who you are, what you've been up to, and where you're going. So for the journal and the grammar PowerPoints, there will be separate videos. I'm going to post throughout the day. I'll definitely get this Lady or the Tiger posted, but I don't know if I'll get all of the grammar lectures posted, but I will have a grammar lecture on each of these PowerPoints, and as you can see, you do have a couple of grammar quizzes. And then we'll have an MLA lecture video as well, going over the MLA formatting quiz. So that's kind of what we're doing, what we're looking at for this course. Now, really quickly, I did mention in the very beginning that I am Comp 1 and Comp Review. The syllabus for this course is very much the same. You'll just notice that the grading breakdown is a little different. You just have portfolio, homework, and attendance. I don't treat these courses as 2 different classes. Occasionally, especially closer to the end, I will have to have you submit like your final essay and a portfolio to that class. But for the most part, I will be moving your grades manually, so you won't have to go to your Comp Review Blackboard shell. You can just be in this Comp 1 shell. But I will tell you if you ever need to go to your comp review, and we can handle that then. So that's the syllabus. That's sort of how this is going to work. In general, my plan is to post everything on Sundays, and then you'll have until the next Friday to complete everything. In most cases, when we do peer review, we'll have some stuff due in the middle of the week. But yeah, okay, that is all I have for this little introduction video. If you have any questions or concerns about any of what I covered in this, please send me an email, or you can call me at that phone number I provided. Like I said, I will be adding more to this as the week goes. Everything will be added by tomorrow. I'll have everything added by the end of the day tomorrow. But if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all in my next lecture. Thank you.